Hello, how's it going? And you are watching the result report coverage of 2023 NCAA March Madness 2023 men's basketball East Region. The rundown on it. 1 seed Purdue against 16 seed winner of Texas Southern and Fairleigh Dickinson. Texas Southern is 14-20. They had to win their conference tournament, which was a miracle as an 8th seed in that tournament. And they have continued their streak of 3 years of going to March Madness and being a 16 seed in the first 4. So of these teams, not that I care who's going to win. I think Fairleigh Dickinson will win after losing to Merrimack by 1 point on the road, but Merrimack was ineligible, so Fairleigh Dickinson got the bid. So with that, I have Fairleigh Dickinson winning and then losing to Purdue in a blowout. Yeah, big time blowout. So Purdue on to the second round, playing either Memphis or Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic, though, is 31-3. I feel them the same way as Charleston. Though they're 31-3, what good win do they have of a Power 5 school? Power 6, including the Big East. So I have Memphis beating Florida Atlantic here. Memphis just beat number 1 Houston, and they've grown over Houston. Houston's overrated though, so still Memphis is better than FAU. Then the 5 seed Duke Blue Devils, one of the hottest teams in college basketball, if not the hottest team. They will play the 12 seeded Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. Do you remember them from 2021 where they were 15 seed, beat Ohio State and Florida to go to the Sweet 16, barely losing to Arkansas? Would have been the first 15 seed to make it to the Elite 8, though St. Peter's covered for them and did become the first 15 seed. So of Duke and Oral Roberts, this is pretty tough. Oral Roberts has the best shooter in the country, and Duke is one of the hottest teams in the country. Though they just barely beat Virginia, which is not playing well right now, only scored 59 points. Upset. Oral Roberts. This best shooter, Max Abmas, has experience with playing against these good teams. He was the guy that missed the shot at the end against Oral Roberts that would have won the game. But I have Oral Roberts moving on after that. Seriously, I do. And then who will they play? So 4 seed, 13 seed, I did not decide this time to go with the 13 seed. Sometimes that's just, too much to pick 3 13 seeds, though there has been some 13 seed runs. Just gonna alert you with that. 2019 13 seed was UC Irvine who beat Kansas State. Then also 12 seed Oregon beat 5 seed Wisconsin. But I don't really think you care about that right now. I think you care about the selection show thing, Majabber. So the 4th seed out of the the what? Wait a sec.
Out of the what?
Big 12, Big 10, ACC, Big 10, Big East. Wait, look at all the teams I put there.
Which team are you talking about?
Xavier. Tennessee.
Okay, so I'll just point at you and start then.
Okay. So speaking that you care about the bracket, the 4 seed out of the SEC is the Tennessee Volunteers, who lost starting point guard Zakai Ziegler with a torn ACL. That's going to be done with his college basketball career likely, unless next year they give him like a medical renter or something. So Tennessee against 13 seed the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. I am thinking about putting Louisiana there, though I said I'm not going with 3 13 seeds. Go with the Tennessee Vols here, who will end up playing Oral Roberts. And then the 6th seed is Kentucky, a team ranked number 4 in the nation to begin the season. A slow start, being predicted at some points as out of the tournament. Seriously, like UNC, some blue bloods missing. Though UNC was the only blue blood that didn't make it. Good for you, Dick Vitale. Okay, so Kentucky will play Providence, and Providence is playing terrible right now. Give Kentucky the win. I have noticed myself that I am picking a lot of these the 6 seeds to beat the 11 seeds here. So I've just noticed that. I don't know what I'm doing here, but this is a year of difference, I think. So Kentucky's going to move on, and they will play the winner of 3 seed Kansas State and the 14 seed of, who is that? The 14 seed of Montana State. Kansas State, Montana State. And so the Montana State, what is it? Whatever, who knows. But the Montana State headed back to March Madness, 2nd year in a row for Montana State. So that's good for them. But it's not enough. Keontae Johnson's going to be too much for Kansas State. That is a first-year coach coming in for Bruce Weber. Great job. Kansas State and Missouri, first-year coaches coming in there and way exceeding expectations after 2 teams that had losing records last year and missed March Madness. So for that, Kansas State is gonna move on. Meaning, we're on to 4 teams left to talk about. So first I have the Big Ten 7 seed Michigan State, and then from the Pac-12 10 seed USC Trojans. Some people had them out. I don't know why. That's a good team with a win over UCLA, who's so good. That is a pretty good USC team, though they're not enough. They're too much. They're not going to be too much for Michigan State. Spartans do have some history for going around here in this round. So that leads to Michigan State moving on. And then the 2 seed Marquette will play the 15 seed Vermont Catamounts here. And 15 seeds, I just don't pick them. There might be a 15 seed that wins, but I'm going to have to go with the Golden Eagles of Marquette. So that puts them against Michigan State in the next round. So 1 seed Purdue against 8 seed Memphis. They did beat number 1 Houston. Not that Houston's any good though. Purdue's going to struggle with this Memphis team, but I think Zach Edey, teams in the Big Ten and people in the Big Ten are learning how to guard him, but even if they do a good job, that does not mean it's easy, and Memphis has not experienced this at all. So for a Big Ten team that's done well against it, they've been playing against Zach Edey for 3 years now. Memphis has not played Zach Edey. Not like they have a big man who could do anything like that. So I have Purdue moving on by like 5 or 6. And then the 12 seed Oral Roberts against 4 seeded Tennessee. So I have the Golden Eagles winning again, Sweet 16 in the last 2 tournaments for them then. So Oral Roberts, another Cinderella a bit. But Purdue would play Oral Roberts in Sweet 16 then. So then you're going to have over here the 6 seed against the 3 seed. Sometimes you can't just always pick the 3 seed here. The 6 seed sometimes will do a good job against whatever team it is. And in this case, the 6 seed is a blue blood, Kentucky. So you know they are going to come at you. They have Oscar Tshiebwe, who is just getting double-doubles like that, all but 1 game probably this year against Texas A&M, where he was struggling like 10 points. He had like 7 points and 10 rebounds. Yeah, it was crazy. But it is Kentucky against Kansas State. So I think Kentucky's going to move on. You can't pick every 3 seed to do everything. So that leaves it to be Michigan State Marquette. And so I think Marquette is a really good team. But Michigan State is well coached. They have experience in these games. like Duke last year, and they are not a bad team at all. They competed with Gonzaga, they beat Kentucky, so that's a good Michigan State team, and in this case with my bracket, they're in a rematch against Kentucky. So on to the Sweet 16, 1 seed Purdue against 12 seed Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts is gonna fall short once again. Purdue, do they have a big man? No, they have a shooter, and shooters will miss way more than a 7'4" player, because the 7'4" is nearly automatic. Then you miss a lot of the shots. Also, keep this for quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Here. So I have here Oral Roberts falling to Purdue. They almost fell to Ohio State 2 years ago. So Purdue to the Elite Eight, 1 game closer, way more for them until they reach the Final Four, a time they have really needed that. So they don't usually reach the Final Four like that. And then that would be 6 seed Kentucky or 7 seed Michigan State that they would play. Purdue got the regular season sweep against Michigan State, but this is against Kentucky this time. So Kentucky lost in double overtime to Michigan State, probably because Oscar Tshiebwe fouled out. Though this time, I don't know, it's going to be double overtime. So I have Kentucky moving on. I think they're going to learn from this. A blue blood matchup here in the Sweet 16. So that leaves Elite Eight. Kentucky and Purdue. With this, I'm going to say Kentucky, though they're a blue blood, does not mean they're too good anymore as they used to be. Kentucky is a good team. However, they have lost to Vanderbilt twice, which is one of the hottest teams in college basketball. And I'm sorry though, Kentucky, you have not exceeded my expectations enough to where you can beat Purdue and go to the Final Four. Boilermakers to the Final Four. Thanks for watching this video and the previous 3 videos. If you did, like, subscribe, and leave a comment to stay up to date with our channel. Peace out.